So for step 27, the front axles, well, you can see that we're going to make both the left and the right one. We've got these hub pieces, the axle pieces. We've got these ones, M3s on either side, ball connectors, screw pins, etc. We're also going to be using some liquid thread lock, and I will be doing that again with this one. Just because once you put that through, there's no reason for you to ever take that off again, so I don't mind using the thread lock. So there are all of the screws that we're going to need, and the ball connectors, screw pins, etc. And there's the pieces that we need for this step. So I'll set this up and we'll put this together. So let's work on this one first. You can see that we need to grab this piece here, and note that there is an arrow kind of piece on the top plastic that's not on the bottom, so we know that this is the correct way around. You can see that we've got this screw, the MA1, that's going to go through the top, and it's going to go into the MA17, which are these ones with the flat end to them. And we're going to use some thread lock. And again, because these are never going to need to come off, I don't mind using a little bit of this. So I'm going to pop that through there. We're going to use a little bit there. And then we'll use our ball connector here. We'll screw that on. And let's see if I can do it this way. Let's try doing the screw. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's going to move. So I'm just going to do this, just to do a last sort of tightening of this. There we go. So that one is now on. So we're finished with putting anything onto that one. So this, you can see, is going to need a ball connector. So these ones are the MA16s. And again, I'm going to use the box wrench. Put that in there. We can tell that's going to be that way around. So I'll use that to kind of guide it. Make sure that it's going in correctly. And you can see it's mostly correct, so that's going in nice and straight. Yes. So we'll screw that all the way down. And don't over tighten, because again, these are not tapping screws, so you don't want to over tighten, but I will try and get that in there. At least it's a nice firm fit. And you can see that this is going to go into here, and the screw pin's going to hold the the front wheel shaft in place. So if you see this, we're going to take the one we just finished. This is going to sit just like that. But first, we've got to put this one in, and you can see there's a nice big hole there. So that's going to fit there like that. That's going to fit over top of there like that. And we'll grab our screw pin that'll go in from the top. It'll go into the hole on this, into the hole in the shaft. Once we can find it, there we go. And it's coming through to the other side. So we're just gonna screw that in all the way. Now it's interesting. Do they show it? It must go all the way. But that almost seems like it's stopped. So you see where the screw pin is? It's actually quite a ways out. Now, can I No, it's at the end. So if that is normal, then the screw sits quite high outside of that, because you can see it's flush at the bottom. So that must be it. So there is one side complete. So now let's work on the other side. So before we get onto this side, I want to bring you back to this side first. Off camera, I decided to try and screw it down a little bit more. So it can be done, and you'll notice that the screw pin itself sits outside of the bottom. That is correct. It doesn't go all the way down, because eventually you can't turn this at all. And I undid it, screwed it back in, and it does the same thing. So it's not 100% all the way through, but it's as far down as it can go. So there is going to be a little bit of a gap, I think you're going to find. So this one is done. So let's work on the other side now. So again, we need to make sure that this arrow piece, not the smooth side, but the sort of this arrowy piece is up. We're going to put on the this piece here with the MA17, and again we're going to be using a bit of thread lock. So again, I'm going to take that, slide that through. We're going to grab our thread lock and just take a little bit here, and let's do a little bit here. Okay, and now we'll take our MA17 and we're going to screw that on all the way. So again, we're going to do what we did before. Just make sure that's going to sit like that. I'm going to grab the screwdriver and let's make sure that sits like that. There we go. I'll just hold the screwdriver and turn the box wrench. So that's nice and tight. So there we go. There is our ball connector on the top of that one. So now we've got a ball connector that has to fit on this side. So again, make sure you've got the right positioning of this. So you saw with this side, it was curled to the back to the right. On this side, we need it to be facing that way. So it's going to sit in there like that. So we have our, what is it? Our front wheel shaft. That's got to go in there. This has got to go in there. But first, I'm forgetting, we need to do this. And I want to use the box wrench again. And remember, just make sure that you're getting that in level. That's pretty close to being level. See, it's more or less level no matter how you look at it. So I'm good with that. So we're going to tighten this all the way up. And again, I'm going to make it tight, but I'm not going to go too tight because this isn't a tapping screw, so you could end up stripping something out. So there we go. So again, we've got our shaft. That's got to go into there. Make sure that's aligned properly. We've got this piece that's going to go over top like that. And then we have our screw pin. So let's make sure that that's going to go through. Got to find the hole again. There we go. And now we're going to need to screw this down. Now again, you can see how far that's got to go. So let's hold this as much as we can. I'm just going to see how that's sitting. Yeah, see, for whatever reason, this is an extremely tight fit. So you're going to need to hold this down as much as possible somehow to be able to make sure that you can screw this in all the way. And it's a finicky one to hold. There we go. Now you see that one has gone down most of the way, and you can see how much is sticking out on the other end. So that one I was able to get in way farther than that one. Notice the difference. So after all that messing about, I actually have managed to get it in. Just note that those screw pins are actually quite hard to get in when you're getting to the ends of them. It required me to, in some ways, I don't know if you can see this, if I put my finger back there as I'm holding the top to screw it, it means this isn't going to move because it can't, your finger's in the way. So if I hold it this way and turn, I could actually get a really firm grip to really turn the screwdriver, because it's not that easy when you've got all the moving parts, because the more pressure you put on it, things were moving around. But if you can somehow get your finger in there, a thumb on the top, you can actually lock this in while you screw. So it is doable. It's just quite tough. But there we go. There are our front axles. They're ready to go. So we can move on to step 28 now and attach the front axles.